Cain. Cain, the farmer who slew his brother. When a person takes the life of another, they have no greater negative impact. To the shame of humanity, our historical paths are littered with murderous acts. Here's a terrifying thought. As I speak these words, somewhere, someone is planning to kill another. And as you hear these words, the intended victim of that insidious scheme will soon die. It all started at the dawn of human history. Now, the man, Adam, was having marital intercourse with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and had Cain. She had just created a man just like the Lord did. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1 through 8, Amplified Bible. Now the man Adam knew Eve as his wife, and she conceived and gave birth to Cain, and she said, I have obtained a man, baby boy, son, with the help of the Lord. And later she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now Abel kept the flocks of sheep and goats, but Cain cultivated the ground. And in the course of time, Cain brought the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. But Abel brought an offering of the finest firstborn of his flock and the fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and for his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no respect. So Cain became extremely angry, indignant, and he looked annoyed and hostile. And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you so angry? And why do you look annoyed? If you do well, believing me, and doing what is acceptable and pleasing to me, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, but ignore my instruction, sin crouches at your door. Its desire is for you, to overpower you, but you must master it. Cain talked with Abel, his brother, about what God had said. And when they were alone, working in the field, Cain attacked Abel, his brother, and killed him. Why are you angry, and why has your countenance fallen? God dealt with Cain through loving confrontation rather than automatic affirmation. God made it clear that if Cain did well, he would be accepted. Of course, God knew the answers to the questions he asked, but he wanted Cain to know and to resist the pull toward violence and anger within. Cain was warned by God about the destructive power of sin. Cain could either resist sin and be blessed, or he could succumb to sin and be devoured. We prevent sin from ruling over us by allowing God to master us first. Without God as our master, we will be slaves to sin. It is worth noting that the first killing occurred within the second generation of humanity. This points to an undeniable theological truth revealed in Genesis chapter 4. We are not sinners simply because we have sinned. We sin because we are sinners. The problem is in the heart. If you genuinely believe in God, you will do what He says, when He says it, and in the manner He desires. Cain came in his own way, and Abel came God's way. The way these men addressed God demonstrated the sincerity of their faith. Later in the Bible, the writer of Hebrews explains it this way. Abel offered God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, and through his faith he was commended as righteous because God commended him for his offerings, and through his faith he still speaks, though he is dead. 1 John chapter 3, verse 10 through 12, Amplified Bible. By this, the children of God and the children of the devil are clearly identified. Anyone who does not practice righteousness, who does not seek God's will in thought, action, and purpose, is not of God, nor is the one who does not unselfishly love his believing brother. For this is the message which you, believers, have heard from the beginning of your relationship with Christ, that we should unselfishly love and seek the best for one another, and not be like Cain, who was of the evil one and murdered his brother, Abel. And why did he murder him? Because Cain's deeds were evil and his brothers were righteous. That's God's appraisal of the offerings of Cain and Abel. Abel's offerings are righteous, Cain's offerings evil.